Wow. Bill Haney gets called out again. Jose Ramirez, manager this time, joins Robert Garcia, another person who called out Bill Haney for allegedly lying and trying to insinuate things that did not occur. In this video, I will break it all down for you. And it's pretty lengthy. Pause. Rick Marinigan says, Bill Haney, come on now. Our teams carried a high level of respect for you guys before and after the fight and always have for many years. Devin and Jose Ramirez showed that respect throughout. You know dang well there was no locker rooms, and your son, as well as every fighter on that card, went to the same parked ambulance right after for the mandatory medical check. Jose left the fight right after and didn't even need an aspirin, and he was eating pizza with his family. He was not hurt in any way, shape, or form. How could he be? What'd he get hit with? 4 punches? You're right. Boxing is not rock'em sock'em, and your son is one of the best with his footwork and defense. But it's also not a Formula One where 12 rounds elapsed are to be done, literally. Top boxing coaches and people in the sport, from Joel Diaz to countless others, all saw Ramirez keep high pressure the entire fight. He came to fight. He tried to fight, but Ramirez not one time ran or avoided Devin. Not once, and he can't just swing reckless in the air as someone running around in the ring. Not moving, but running. Sure, he could have threw more punches as well, but at what? Wow. He goes on to say, I love the commentators. Some I would say are friends, but they can't justify calling Canelo fight different than Ramirez fight. Canelo chased a guy around the ring for 100 rounds who refused to fight in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if that style is even boxing anymore. It's crazy to see, but they should have given Canelo the same praise as Ramirez or same criticism, and it's not much, if at all, different than the fight with Ramirez. So he's making his case there. If you want action, want a real fight, a guy that comes to fight, then Ramirez has been and is that guy. In closing, I think Devin did what he had to do to beat Ramirez. Not a single chance any other way he could have won, but with that approach and extreme game plan. But his job was to win, and for that we congratulated him, and you, as you both deserve. But landing a mega fight after this performance, that won't happen. I can almost guarantee that. And he's saying like the Men's Warehouse. I guarantee it. Respectfully, Rick. So a second person has come out and called out Bill Haney. And I find it funny. The best in the business, and it's not even close. I say my piece about the event and the fight. Check out What Really Happened video on my page. And some people understood it. Most people understood it. It was not a good fight, period. And Devin Haney does not look the same after the Ryan Garcia fight. It's funny to see the Haneyacks. They refuse to talk about this. Like, there's boxing news. There's only but certain topics going on. You have Haneyacks channels and content creators who would rather lie and make up other random topics to talk about rather than explore this fight, which was not a good fight. People like Joel Diaz, former trainer of Tim Bradley, he said that Devin Haney should retire. Robert Garcia did an interview with ES News. He says, I'll give it another shot, but if you're going to fight scared like that, then, you know, maybe you should consider retirement. And it's funny because you have Haney content creators. They're trying everything under the sun, all types of conspiracy theories and comparisons to try to rectify this and make this look like a dazzling display of boxing for Devin Haney. Bill Haney's doing the same thing, and he's going as far as lying and saying that I guess Jose Ramirez was beat up and hospitalized while Devin was ringside watching the Ryan Rowley fight laughing. I mean, come on, bro. I told you guys, Bill Haney, he's just making it worse. He's making it worse for his son. And I love it because Devin Haney, that's his father. I understand that's a difficult decision, but he just doesn't understand how much harder his dad is making his career. Because you made whatever money you made, Turkey paid you out, but going as far as like lying, it's just, you would like, if your performance was truly good, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to justify it. I'm trying to think of someone that had a good performance recently. We'll say like Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin. He didn't really have to justify anything. He got a knockout. Frank Martin tried. Good fight. Gervonta won by knockout, right? So when you have performances, it speaks for themselves. Devin Haney, notice his dad is trying to soften the blow. He's seeing the blowback. He's seeing the criticism. And now he's trying to, I guess, convince the world that this was masterclass boxing. And he's comparing it to Canelo and all these other fights. And you have this with Haney content creators as well. They're saying, oh, but why didn't you guys say nothing to Canelo? Bro, nobody liked any of these fights from Turkey, except for maybe the Inoue fight with Cardenas. But I'm talking about the Friday and Saturday fights. So bringing up Canelo is senseless. His fight was horrible too. Notice I keep it real. But it still doesn't change the fact that Devin Haney looks compromised from the Ryan Garcia fight. And what Rick Marinigan just said, if this is how he's going to fight, good luck landing a big fight. Now, you might, this was already done before, you might be able to still get the Ryan Garcia fight. But either way, doing this and having this performance did not help. And then I see some people, they're like, oh, why are you guys not complaining about Jose Ramirez? Once again, Jose Ramirez is 35. I told you before the fight, I can't speak for anyone else's commentary. Look, someone put trash. Oh, wow. I told you before the fight, I don't think Jose Ramirez has looked good for some time. Did I say that? Everybody that remembers me saying that, type yes, you did. Right? So when I was previewing this fight, I told you Jose Ramirez hadn't looked good in several fights, several years. Right? So I was not really sold on this fight. I didn't like the fight. I didn't think this was going to be like a super tough fight for Devin Haney. But that being said, I expected more from Devin Haney because what was presented didn't look like this clear and present danger. Devin Haney acted like he was reveling in the moment, taunting the crowd, saying, feed me more booze. I like that. He was posting all these muscle pictures, said he enlisted the help of Shane Mosley. Why would people be focused on Jose Ramirez more than the younger fighter who was being compared to Floyd Mayweather? Jose Ramirez, again, he's looked flat for some odd years. The fight was at a catchweight. Devin is younger and he's supposed to be a pure boxer. So at some point, it would have been nice to see him step on the gas and try to make a statement. But he looked so timid and gun shy that he was not willing to do that, period. So talking about Jose Ramirez, nobody was considering Jose Ramirez the four horsemen. But again, these are distractions from the Haney content creators so they don't have to answer the real questions and really speak to how Devin looked. And to me, it's pretty bad that you have Bill Haney who's lying and making it sound like Jose Ramirez was so beaten badly, like he was brutally beaten up by Devin Haney in that fight to the point where he got hospitalized. And Robert Garcia, the manager, they all said he was eating pizza, and that didn't happen. They didn't have a locker room, so therefore everybody met post-fight for customary, mandatory post-fight checks. Robert Garcia said on the Inoue card, he said, I have a fighter that won by knockout. He has to see the doctor. So even though he won by knockout, you know, they just want to test and check you to make sure you're not concussed or nothing that they should look for where they need to send you for a CAT scan, because you can win a fight and still have a concussion or still be in bad shape. So for Bill Haney to go out of his way and try to spin this narrative, it shows you his character. And it doesn't help Devin Haney. People still didn't like the fight. The fight was boring. So no matter what you say, it's not going to change anything. You're only making it worse. You're making it worse because now you're trying to sell us a dream, no pun intended. You're trying to sell us a dream, and the performance was not that fly. Yeah, again, you guys can focus on Jose Ramirez if you want. He didn't do what he needed to do to cut off the ring, but it was at a catch weight. He's an older fighter, and again, he's not being regarded. Nobody put him on the pound for pound list at all in recent memory. Devin, however, was on the Ring top 10 pound for pound list, if I'm not mistaken. Boom. So there you are. They got Devin Haney right here. There, nowhere on here does it show Jose Ramirez. So yeah, you're gonna be held to a higher standard when you're Canelo and you're fighting like you fought with Skull. When you're Devin Haney and you're fighting like you fought undefeated. So why are people bringing up Jose Ramirez like as if he's somewhere? Do you see him on the pound for pound list? So that is part of it. When you're Usyk, when you're Inoue, right? You can say, oh, Inoue got dropped. He got dropped and he warred back and came back and stopped the guy. That's fine. No one said you got to be the Terminator and you can't get hurt in your fight. He's making exciting fights. He got dropped. He did get dropped. And he got back up and dealt with that adversity. Terrence Crawford, you know, he's moving up in weight, fighting the Madrimovs and winning. Bivol and Beterbiev, they're giving you very tough, hard-fought fights. Bam Rodriguez, etc. So that's why the Haneyacks are trying to distract you. And they're like, oh, but you're not saying this about Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is not listed in the top 10 pound for pound at all. Jose Ramirez's team is not trash talking, saying that we are going to stop Devin Haney for sure, and you're too little, you look small, and all the stuff that Bill Haney and the Haneys were saying. You enlisted the service of Shane Mosley. I told you, Devin kept posting those muscle pictures, and I'm like, this just looks out of character. This look odd. The bottom line is, look, he was acting like he was enjoying the booze. All that fake Floyd Mayweather flair, you didn't put on a Floyd Mayweather performance, and that's why you're being judged by that. So for your dad to come out and lie and make it look like you beat the crap out of Jose Ramirez and put him in the hospital, and then come to find out everyone says you're capping, is not a good look.